We're just introducing everybody to the candidates that are running for office here in Oskaloosa. So just say your name for us and what position you're running for.
Hi, Ken. Yeah, my name is Steve Bernett. I currently am the council person in the 4th Ward, which is the northeast corner of Oskaloosa. I've been in that position for the last 8 years and chose to run one more time.
All right. When you're looking back at your accomplishments, what are you most proud of that you've been able to do so far?
I think probably what I've told folks anyway over the last 8 years, probably the thing that I'm proudest of is that we've got Amal Elithar here as a city manager, because she's done what I would consider to be an outstanding job in the time she's been there. She's extremely qualified, very engaged, brings a lot of new ideas to our community, and I'm really pleased that she's here. So I think for me in the last 8 years, that's probably the accomplishment I'm the proudest of, is helping bring her into town.
All right, and briefly, what do you hope to be able to accomplish in the next 4 years?
Well, to not have dysfunction, that's what the council was known for in the past, and we work well together now. There's lots and lots of good things going on in Oskaloosa, whether it's the refurbishment of the old post office building to other things that are happening in town. I know people complain about all the pizza places. We don't go out and choose them. They choose us. So we'll take any new business that wants to come to town like that. So hoping to just continue with the successes you see around you right now in Oskaloosa.
Name for us?
Jeremy Lewis.
All right. And Jeremy, what position are you running for?
I'm running for the mayor's office.
The mayor's office?
Yep.
Okay, so briefly, what drew your interest to run in this year?
So what drew my interest this year was I was in a unique position where I would have more free time to try and get more involved in our local town and our city and potentially our government. And we've had a few water incidences that kind of drew my attention to, like, what are we doing, where are we at, as far as infrastructure and whatnots with that. So I just wanted to get involved and try and get a better understanding of what we're doing to attack these problems and what we're going to do to make them better.
All right. So briefly, what's this experience been like for you?
It's been pretty quiet. I mean, I've talked to a few people.
Okay.
I ran into a few random people that ask if I am, and I say yes. I haven't really self-promoted, as one would say.
Okay.
Just more of a word of mouth and just like to see something different.
All right. So in the next 2 years, if you were elected, what kinds of things, I know that you want to know about infrastructure. Are there any other plans that you would have as mayor?
I'm really interested about bringing in new businesses, especially like restaurants and activities, something to get the community involved. Like, what can we do to support that? What are our options? So we can try and draw in people to our community to have them travel to us, see us, and spend their money here rather than us commuting somewhere else for like a restaurant or a movie experience or whatnots.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the voters before I hit end?
I would just say, come out, vote. There's somebody new, and let me know what you'd like to see changed. I'm all ears.
All right. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Question, can you say your name and what position you're running for?
Yeah, I'm Bob Drost, and I am the 2nd Ward Councilman for Oskaloosa.
All right, and unopposed?
And I'm unopposed this time.
All right. So Again.
Yeah.
Well, there could be a strong write-in campaign. We don't know this.
It could be. Last time there was one. There was one 4 years ago.
Is this your first full 4-year term?
So I am just finishing my first full term. I was appointed in June of 2018 to finish out the term for Tom Jimenez when he moved out of town. And then, so that was about 1.5 years that I served under Tom's term. And then I officially ran for election 4 years ago, and going for re-election now.
Okay. So in that 4 years or 5.5 years, what are you most proud of for your work on the council?
What am I most proud of? It really comes down to the partnerships and the collaboration. I think we've made a lot of progress in the city. Partnerships with, whether it be the chamber, whether it be Iowa Economic Development Authority, the college, Developers, development takes a long time, as Ken and I have talked about before. But just the progress that we're making, the new things that are coming up, and again, just the partnerships, being able to work together, even with the county. And we continue to learn that you don't have to agree on everything to work together.
All right. So, when or if you're reelected, what do you hope to accomplish, though, in that next 4 years?
In the next 4 years, it's really about a continuation of the things we're doing. We know that housing is a huge need, and it is a priority of council and the city. We've been kind of a crossover between my responsibilities as a councilman and for my day job, in conversation with developers on a regular basis, and trying to get to an end or get that next step in our housing. And then also just continued economic development. We're seeing some good things happen with the post office, seeing some good things happen with the entertainment venue being built, things that will be attractive to prospective employees, and also other businesses coming in because they want to relocate or locate to a city where there's options for their employees.
All right. So, quickly, you have 30 seconds on the elevator to convince somebody to vote for you or why you should be in that position again.
Why should you vote for me? I can work with anybody. I encourage dialogue. I have one person in particular in the city who calls me and says, "Bob, I need a voice of reason." And we sit down and talk through things and look to see how we can work together to get to that next step. And that's what I'm about. It's not about me. It's about the community.
Could you say your name and what position you're running for?
My name is Dave Kreutzfeld, and I'm running for mayor of Oskaloosa.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I say that because you're the incumbent. You have been for how many years now?
This is finishing up my 14th year.
All right. So I asked the other council members, what accomplishments are you the most proud of that you look at through those years of service?
Boy, there's so many that I can point at, but I think I want to look at the ones that are just the most recent ones. So it's the involvement that we've had in economic development, where we've been partnering with the local industries in order to get growth happening. So the announcement that came from Musco of their major expansion, the Clow Valve major expansion, the progress that we're having on the dealing with the infrastructure of Oskaloosa, cleaning up the infrastructure regarding wastewater, but also having to do with our streets, making traffic flow a little better. We've got a better partnership with the Iowa Department of Transportation. And it's those types of partnerships, that kind of development taking place that really gives me a good sense for where the progress is going to be coming in the near future. We're doing a good job, I think, in far as marketing the city. So we've got the attention of the Pizza Huts and the folks who are wanting to build in town. So I think about the development going out west as far as the recreation courts that are going to be there next to the hotel, the restaurant there, but also the mixed use that's going to be there with some housing as well. And so those are all things that are some of the more creative thinking that we've been able to do over the last few years. Now that we have that positive momentum finally going, I'm anxious to keep it going.
All right. And so if you were to be elected again, what would you look to have or want to accomplish in that next 2 years?
Well, primarily it has to do with economic development. So we have a number of partnerships that are already working. You think about the east side of Oskaloosa with the certified site. We need to have the communication with businesses that are interested in moving to Oskaloosa and doing the best we can to market that. The other problem we have is housing. That with the expansions that are happening with our local businesses and with some of the new restaurants that are opening up, I anticipate we're going to have more people coming to town, spending the day, enjoying Oskaloosa. It'd be great to be able to say, yeah, you can live here as well. We have to develop the housing in order to make that happen. And so what I bring is primarily the experience of knowing what it's like to get this far and knowing how urgent it is to keep going.
All right, and you have 30 seconds to convince somebody to vote for you. How are you going to do that this time?
Well, I'm going to point at the at the experience that Oskaloosa has right now, how does it feel to you? What kind of, how routine is it that we have these announcements where we have expansions happening, one success after another? These are the sort of things that can keep happening if I get elected back into office.
Have Mr. Charlie Comfort here.
Yes.
What position are you running for this year?
I am running for re-election to the Oskaloosa School Board, one of the 4 at-large seats.
All right, so you and Amanda McGraw are here tonight
Correct.
from the school board. Now, you've been on the school board before, but you had to resign for some, I don't remember those reasons.
Conflict of interest with the job I had at that time.
Okay, that's right, and then you were reelected
Yep.
after a time. I think that you had left town for a while.
Yep.
So reelected, and now you're seeking your second term. When
Correct.
you're looking at your past 4 years, what are you most satisfied with as far as your job?
The last 4 years have been a true pleasure to serve on the board. As I think about some of our biggest accomplishments, I have to list as the number one accomplishment in my time in the past 4 years to be the hiring of our superintendent, Dr. Mike Fisher. Him and his predecessor, Mrs. Paula Wright, I think really had their work cut out for them. Paula, especially when she came to our district. So we've seen a lot of. Paula was really good about getting the house back in order, as I like to say, and Dr. Fisher now is really good about growing that house. There's just been so many good things that have happened with our facilities. We have so many facility improvements that have happened in the past 4 years. We've had a strong leadership team get put together, and most importantly, we have our vision culture that's been developed in the past year that seeks to empower others to work. So instead of a top-down approach, it's more of a bottom-up approach, empowering those from below to seek out leadership opportunities and lead others forward. So I'm just really happy with what's happening in the school district. Our enrollment numbers, especially most recently, we've seen a really positive turnaround on those numbers. We know from an academic side of things, there's still work to be done. It's always going to be a work in progress. We have the COVID gap to work that we've worked through. We have a great curriculum director, Marcia DeVore, who's really gotten to work in her first year here, and now I'm just excited to continue to keep an eye on that and just see the district continue to move forward with the strong momentum that we have.
All right, so if you were elected and you're running unopposed, so more than likely you will, what do you hope to accomplish, though, in your next 4 years?
Like I just said, the big thing, my big focus the next 4 years is keep an eye on our academic position. Like I mentioned, I don't think anybody is necessarily the happiest with where we've been. We've had a lot of turnover in that curriculum director position in the past 10 years even. I think we're on number 6 with Marcia DeVore. So just having that person in place and empowering them to really be innovative, because as a rural school district in public education, you have to be innovative in the way you deliver education now. Just empowering Marcia to go out there and seek different ways to be innovative in how we're delivering education to our students and putting children first. What are the basic needs they need to be successful outside of school? It may not be college. It may be preparing them for the workforce. What's that portrait of a high school graduate look like? My focus is on the academic side and also continuing to advance our vision culture. And I would say lastly, continuing to push forward our facilities improvements. I strongly believe that Oskaloosa has the best facilities in the southeast Iowa. We have the best elementary school in the state, in my opinion. We have a fantastic early childhood center. I'm excited for what's coming for Oskaloosa schools, and we just need the leaders now who are willing to put Oskaloosa students and parents and staff first.
All right, so you're in a unique position, so I have to ask you this. Mm-hmm. You serve on both the city council and the school board.
That's correct.
Do you find that those create a conflict for you, and how do you overcome those conflicts, but also are you able to do the job for both of them?
Yeah, I don't think it's a conflict at all. In fact, I think it's a collaboration opportunity. If you look at where the city and the school relationship has been previously, it was non-existent. 10 years ago, you mentioned the school and the city getting together to do something, and there was cold water dumped on that. So I think having me in both roles is a unique opportunity to provide perspective to both different governing boards. From the school side and the city side, we have projects we've worked on together. So I think just having that unique knowledge base to share is beneficial to both groups. I keep a close eye on items that we have on the agenda. So if I think there's ever a conflict of interest, I check with legal counsel, and then I respectfully abstain myself from any action if there is a potential conflict. So as for being able to do the job, absolutely. I thrive on being busy. The meeting schedule is not at all burdensome to me. I have never missed a school. I have missed very few school board meetings, very few city council meetings. In fact, the only meetings I've missed have been family related. So the births of my daughters, missed meetings, other issues relating to my daughters. Of course, I've put my family first. So there will be no issue with me continuing to serve in both capacities.
All right, so I'll give you just like 30 seconds and wrap up and tell voters why you should be that position again.
You know, for me, if you're looking for someone who's going to continue that momentum, being actively involved with our administration from a proper board member standpoint, and ultimately putting the needs of our students, parents, and staff first, that's what you get out of me. I want to continue the momentum we've had over the past 4 to 6 years, and if you reelect me, I'll continue to put Oskaloosa schools first.
Please.
Amanda McGraw Ferguson,
All right, and you are running for what position?
at-large school board member.
Okay, and if I remember right, all school board members now are at large.
Yes, we all. So no, we're no longer in districts. You don't have to live in that district. Now we are at large, so you can live anywhere in the Oskaloosa School District.
Okay, so how long have you served on the school board so far?
I filled a seat in 2017, I believe. I filled the 2 years seat, and then I re-ran after that. So this will be would be my second full term.
Your second full term. Mm-hmm. So what are you most proud of that you've been able to accomplish as a board member?
I think getting to where we're at today, I think the hiring of our last 2 superintendents I'm pretty proud of. I didn't realize how much goes into hiring a superintendent. So I think, we had Paula Wright. I was involved in that process, and then the hiring of Dr. Fisher. So I think I'm most proud of that just because we had 2 great leaders, and I think both of them brought a lot of things to the table and to where we're at today.
All right, so, and you're running unopposed.
Yep.
So unless somebody does a huge write-in campaign, you're probably going to be reelected. Going forward in the next 4 years, what would you like to see accomplished in the school district?
In our school district?
Yeah.
Well, I have said it a lot of times in our board meetings. I want our kids back home. I want, if wherever they're at right now, open enrolled, if they're there, I would love for them to come back to Oskaloosa and be home. I think we have a lot of great things happening, and we can't show them unless they come in our buildings and see day to day. So that's really what I want our kids back home. So.
All right, and you have 30 seconds, you're in the elevator, and you're going to convince somebody to vote for you.
Oh, I'm an alumni of Oskaloosa. I think that I've brought a lot of things to the table, especially in our facilities. I think we have some great facilities, and so I would appreciate everyone's vote on November 7th.